all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to a Bookish Journey with me, Manjushree. So this week I decided that I'm going to expose myself, as in I'm going to show you all the unread books which I have in my beautifully decorated shelf. As you saw in my last video, I organized my whole bookshelf and I realized how many unread books I have. In the bookish community, we have this term called as TBR, which means to be read, as in the books which we own with us but we haven't read it, we call them TBR. So today I'm going to take you on a journey where I'm going to show you my whole TBR pile. Yeah, I'm going to unravel whatever horrors I've kept within. Well, I say it as horrors because the biggest nightmare any bookworm can have is to have all the books which they haven't read and then realizing how much time they have left on this earth to read. So I'm really terrified about that. So let's tackle it, or maybe I'll have a mental breakdown after this video. So I have divided all my TBR pile into three categories, that is low priority, medium priority and high priority. Since I'm a mood reader, I just pick up whichever books I want to read at that particular moment. So I have a few books which are like least prioritized in my TBR and really high prioritized, which are like I'm going to pick these up next. And since I have a series in mind where I'm going to be doing a reading vlog where I'm going to be tackling all my TBR books, I thought I'll show them all to you and show you how I'm going to reduce that count from my bookshelf so that it can be filled with more read books. So I'm going to take you on a journey which will lead to another journey. So the low priority books, I'm going to say is the Mahabharata. I cannot take it down. The Mahabharata series, that is, it is my lifelong goal to complete that series, but it requires a lot of brain energy. So I think I'm going to keep it aside as a low priority. I'm going to read it whenever I have the free time and the brain space to read it, because it is such a huge epic to get into, and I think I'm going to take it slow and take it wisely. The next books are actually the Krishnavatara series by K.M. Munshi. All these are the English version, the original English version. I read the Kannada version a few years back, and these are a set of 8 books. It's an 8-book series, and this is also low in my priority as of now, because I do not want to get into them and just finish them rapidly. I just want to stay in the world, get sucked into it, and then enjoy being in that Vrindavan along with Krishna. So yeah, this is also low in my priority, but something which I want to savor when I read it and not just skim through it. I enjoy the Kannada books so much, and this is the original version, so I'll enjoy it more. I just realized I'm going to take out all my TBR and it is going to mess up my bookshelf and I have to reorganize it. Things you do for your passion project. The next in my low priority list is actually The Ivory Throne by Manu S. Pillai. This is such a huge chunky book, and I do not know the history well enough to read this book on one sitting, like in one pace. I have to do a lot of research, so it requires a big brain energy. I'm putting off so many books because it requires big brain energy, but that is the only reason I can give right now, because when you see this, there is a lot of history behind this, and I do not want to take this book easily and just read it. So this is also in my low priority list. So the last low priority book in my TBR is actually Durgastamana by Tarasu. This is actually a tale of Madhukari Nayaka, a king who lived in Chitradurga many hundred years back, and this follows his story of bravery and valor. So this is also in my low priority, but this is something I'm looking forward to for many years, but I've got to be honest with myself. I have so many other books which I'm more interested in than this. So sorry, I'm being honest. So those were my low priority books. Let's get on with the medium priority books. The books aren't ranked in itself inside each priorities. These are just put into that category. There is no ranking whatsoever inside the priorities themselves. So yeah, the classics of course are my medium priority. The Sherlock Holmes, Wuthering Heights, The Picture of Dorian Gray, The Bell Jar, Pride and Prejudice, Virginia Woolf's Street Haunting, and also this little book Letters to a Young Poet. I don't know why I'm keeping this in my TBR. I think I can finish it in like 1 hour. Okay, this is going to my currently reading list. These are all my medium priority books because classics are something I do not normally tend to go towards. They won't be my priority ever. They have been out for 200 years. They can wait a few more years. But yeah, these are my medium priority books. I'm going to get them when I do want to, and when some of my friends want to buddy read it. Coming in next in the medium priority list are actually 3 Indian books. The first one is actually the Bangalore's Detective Club. This is murder and mayhem's story. It is perfect for monsoon season. I don't know, it is raining right now, so I don't know if I will pick it up. I'm not sure, but this is not like the book I normally tend to pick up when I'm actually going to my bookshelf and picking up new reads. So this again is in my medium priority list. The next one is Harivamsha by Bibek Devroy. This was gifted to me by a friend a long time ago, and I really did start reading it the moment I got it, but something else came up and I started reading that book and completely forgot I own this, and I do not even know what this is about. A gorgeous lucid rendering of the majestic conclusion of the Mahabharata. Okay, this is on top of my medium priority list. The cover is gorgeous though. Gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to be reading it sometime, but still it is in my medium priority list because I see some of the books which I have on my high priority list. So this is on top of my medium priority list. Maybe like high, medium. Is there a level between high and medium priority? This goes over there. So coming to the next set of medium priority books, I have these 5 books: An Era of Darkness, An Assassination of Indira Gandhi and Other Short Stories, Independence, The Splendors of Royal Mysore, and India's Struggle for Independence. These are all big brain energy books and I need my time, so medium priority books. Right now, as you can see, I was 25%, not even 25%, I was through these many in The Splendors of Royal Mysore, and I had a lot of thoughts, lot of research to do, so these are all not the books I want to tackle right now. By the way, a rant incoming. Whoever says that once you get a job you will have a bit of free time to get as many books as you want and read as many books you like. No, your studying doesn't stop, and it gets even harder because you have to keep on upskilling yourself, especially if you're in like an IT or corporate industries. You have to keep on upskilling yourself, so you have to be studying. You have no motivation, there are no exams, there are no tests. You'll just get fired, or you'll get laid off, or you'll be stuck in a never ending lifeless soul sucking job. So that is the reason I'm not able to read more books. Though my job is really good, I'm not saying that it is soul sucking or anything. I am upskilling myself, so I do not have the time to prioritize these books, and that is the reason why I do not have the big brain energy right now. So I'm going towards feel good, not so big brain energy books. So the next book in my medium priority list is actually Papyrus by Irene Vallejo. This is the history of books. So of course this is like a book which I have to read, but this is also a medium priority because non-fictions tend to take a lot of time for me to get through. So this is not the book I think I'm going to pick up easily, but maybe when I'm interested in reading some books about books, I'll be reading this. The next book in my medium priority list is actually the Mahabharata Unraveled and Ramayana Unraveled. This is like the lesser known facts about Ramayana and Mahabharata, and I am grown through those epics. What I am right now is because of those epics. So this is something I'm really interested in. I do want to know what all facts are in there, how much I still have to discover about those huge epics. So these are something I am saving for sometimes when I crave for those mythological books, or crave when I do want to read Ramayana or Mahabharata. The next book is actually a Kannada one, that is Malegalalli Madhumagalu by Kuvempu, and this is also like a very monsoony read. I do want to read it before the winter season starts, and this is like a rainy season right now, but still it's in my medium priority list because it is a Kannada book and it takes me a lot of time to get through it, especially Kuvempu. So this is in my medium priority list as well. I hope I can get to this soon before the rainy season ends. I think the last of my medium priority book is actually Parva by S.L. Bhairappa. This is the English translated version, and this is in my medium priority because we are transitioning into my top priority books. I also have this book in Kannada, Parva by S.L. Bhairappa. This is a retelling of Mahabharata. So A tale of war, peace, love, death, God and man. I do want to read it in the original first and then get into the translated version. So this is my top priority and this is my medium priority along these two books. So coming to the top priority, of course, there was Purva, and the next book is actually The Design of Everyday Things, and this is a non-fiction written by Don Norman. I got this because I wanted to read it instantly. The instant I got to know about this book, I wanted to read it. I got it off of Amazon and it has been lying in my shelf for 6 months now. So yeah, that is that, but this is still my top priority. I have to read it in the coming days, maybe in a month or two. My next priority is Homegoing by Yag Yasi. I know I got this very recently, but the story is very intriguing and I really want to make this a top priority for me to read. So let's see when I'm going to pick this up, but still this is one of my top priority books to read. The next book is Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari, and this I got this last year and I still haven't touched this book. This is a non-fic, A Brief History of Humankind, and I've heard so many raving reviews about this book and I really want to get into this. But again, it's a big brain energy book, and when it's a non-fiction, I do want to annotate the hell out of it. So I'm going to make this my top priority. At least in this video, I'm going to pick this up and read it soon. The next book is Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Brando Sando has been on my radar for so many years now, and being the proclaimed fantasy girl that I am, I haven't read any one of his books or Robin Hood or any other main fantasy books, which I should. So this is my top priority book which I have to get into. So this is my top priority book. The next top priority book is actually The Dark World by V.E. Schwab. This is actually a book I've borrowed from my friend, so I have to return it back to her, and that is why this is my top priority to read. Another book with the same reasoning as The Dark World is Sea of Poppies by Amitav Ghosh. This is like an Indian fantasy book, and I want to dwell more into Indian fantasies, and this is going to be my starting stage. And this is also one of my friend's book which I've borrowed to read, which I haven't read, so this is also a top priority to read and return it back to her. So these are all the Indian litfic books which I do want to get, and these are my top priority litfics. So there is Saraswati's Gift, Ajaya, Roll of Dice, Book 1, The Quotation, The Mahatma and Italian Brahmin, a collection of short stories by Manu S. Pillai. Oh, why is Ahalya here? I have read Ahalya. Oh my god, I've messed up the books. 1 minute. I've got them. It's Kunti and Draupadi by Koral Das Gupta, and these are like the high priority books in the Indian litfic which I do want to read. The next book is Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I know the hype has died down, and this is like many people's favorite fantasy quartet, and I still haven't read the first book, so I do want to get into this. I'm in a mood for fantasy nowadays, but also slice of life. But if the fantasy side wins, I think I'm going to pick this up and see if I want to continue with the series. The next book is Karisiriyana by K.S. Ganeshaya. This is a Kannada thriller book. They say that K.S. Ganeshaya is kind of the Dan Brown of the Kannada literature, so I really love Dan Brown and his writing and the fast-paced stories, the thrilling pace with which it goes. So this is also a top priority book, and this is a small one, so I think I can get through this very quickly. So let's hope I get to this quickly. Okay, the next topmost priority, this is like high tier, high priority, topmost book which I want to complete is actually Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabriella Zevin. I know the hype has finally died down a little because of the release of The Fourth Wing, but I do want to read this book. Like, the title is not what caught my eye, it was the blurb. This is not a romance, but it is about love, and I really want to read this. So the first episode of Tackling My TBR will be Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, along with The Starless Sea. So Starless Sea was also in my TBR for a long time, and I'm currently reading The Starless Sea. I'm listening to the audiobook. I'm 25% through. So the first episode of Tackling My TBR is going to be The Starless Sea, and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I'm going to start this and make a reading vlog out of it, hopefully. So let's see, this is the topmost priority. Along with this, I'm currently reading this, so this is not in my TBR, but this is in my TBR, so I'm going to tackle it, and you're going to see how I tackle it. I'm going to tackle it so hard. So let us reduce my TBR pile together and see where it goes. So this video was me realizing so many books, so little time to read. I hope I can get through them as quickly as I showed it to you. Let's hope I read all these books and enjoy them. I'm going to see you in another video, and also so many episodes to come where I'm going to tackle each book of my TBR and you're going to go on that journey with me. So I'm now going to rearrange all these books back in my bookshelf and get started with reading. I'll see you in another video. Until then, please leave in the comment section which book you are most excited for me to see read, so that I can make a reading vlog. And also please like and subscribe. I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.